Hello everybody, welcome back to Shills Thrill. Today, we're very excited to be talking about Star Wars: The Acolyte. Here with us, as always, Susan. She's a huge Star Wars fan. Today, she's going to tell us all about Star Wars: The Acolyte. Susan, please tell us more about The Acolyte. The Acolyte, created by Leslie Hedland, is the newest TV show to grace our screens from Disney+. It is a phenomenal new series, 8 episodes long, each episode lasting anywhere from 28 minutes to 35 minutes. You know, you're really making the most of the budget here. It is a fantastic series. You know, to be honest with you, going into it, I thought, it doesn't look too good. The marketing really didn't sell me, but I have to say, this is what all Star Wars fans have been waiting for. This series is going to unite us in a way we haven't been united in 40 years. The Acolyte is a story about the Sith. I mean, that is how it was presented to us prior to the release, but really what it is, it's about family. It's about family. It's about sisterhood. It is about two young women separated after a disaster in their lives and coming back together, connected through the Force. It's a story about love, hate, betrayal, and corruption. It is Star Wars. That's correct, Susan. It is Star Wars. And before you go on, I just want to remind our audience, if you like what you're getting here today, don't forget to smash that like button, hit the notification bell, comment, share, and yes, everybody, do not forget to subscribe to our Patreon. Only $51.99 per month. It really goes a long way in helping us. Thank you for paying us. Yes, everybody, we do like receiving your large amounts of money. We thank you, of course. And speaking of money, I also have to thank our sponsor for today's video, Disney+. For only a small price of $9.99 per month and a piece of your soul, you'll have access to great TV shows such as Obi-Wan Kenobi, The Book of Boba Fett, Ahsoka, The Acolyte. And don't forget the movies. A subscription to Disney Plus will get you blockbuster access, such as films like Solo, a Star Wars story, The Last Jedi, The Rise of Skywalker. Yes, all fantastic movies, blockbusters, moneymakers. But we're not trying to talk about Star Wars' past today. Susan, please tell us about The Acolyte. Where can we start? Why don't you tell us about the cast? Now, the cast is one of the greatest achievements The Acolyte has going for it. Never in your life have you seen so much strong diversity. And, you know, it's a reflection of Earth, really. I love black chicks. All walks of life watch Star Wars. I mean, historically it is typically white men, but all walks of life. And here we have two protagonists, Osha and May, played by the same actress, a girl by the name of Amandla. Very exotic. Amandla Stenberg. She is the most diverse leading actress in a Star Wars project to date. A girl with a white father, but she embraces her heritage and it comes through on screen. You really feel that this very entitled, privileged girl born in California of the USA, you really feel that she has had a hard life, even though she's been rich and benefited. It comes through in the character because her acting is so well done. So well done. She has a very blank face, which means you can imprint whatever emotions you want onto her. Exactly. It's like watching Master Chief. That's what it's like. She has the emotional range of Master Chief from Halo. That's amazing. Good point, Susan. Now, who else is in the show? I hear there's a cameo from a favorite Korean actor. The guy from Squid Game. I don't want to remember his name. It's one of those Asian weird names. Ha 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 ha. Asians have such weird names. You know what I'm talking about. When I say Squid Game, you know who I'm talking about. He makes an appearance as Jedi Master Soul. And he does this thing throughout the whole series that no one else does. They only teach it in the most prestigious acting schools. It's called, and stay with me now, emoting. Emoting? I've never heard of it. Yes, emoting, where the emotions he's feeling on the inside are projected on the outside. It makes you really connect with his character. And it is a shame that by the end of the series they drag him through the dirt and kill him, but to start off with, he was a great character. His legacy will be that of utter shit, but he did a great job. Oh, that's great. Now, tell us about who else is in the show. Any interesting side characters? There's also Leslie Hedland, the show's creator's wife, playing a green bald lady with a whip. Oh, she has a lightsaber whip. That's cool. Yes, she has a whip. She used it once. Yes, that's her character. Oh, you don't have any more to say about her? That's okay. Who else is in the show? Well, there's some bald black lady playing a black lady with a big wig. She disappears and gets stabbed. That's it. But who else is in the series? What other actors can we look forward to watching week to week? Oh, I could go on about the cast, but that would be boring because their performances, you know, some people would say they're boring all across the board, but I say it's nuanced. Why show emotion when it's up to the audience to try and dig it out of the actors? That is the key. Yeah, why else would you pay actors millions of dollars to act? It's not like it's in their job description. Well, we can have a debate about acting in private another time. For now, I'm going to give The Acolyte an A+ in pure performance. Okay, so we've talked about the actors, the characters. What else can we talk about? Susan, tell me all about the filmmakers. Who's the showrunner? Can I just say how refreshing it is to finally see a woman leading a Star Wars project? Well, actually, Susan, we've had females lead Star Wars projects in the past. Deborah Chow directed Obi-Wan Kenobi. Deborah Chow? No, I think you're wrong. I think George Lucas made the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. No, Susan, no. George Lucas sold Star Wars 10 years ago, more than 10 years ago. It was a lady called Deborah Chow. Are you sure about that? I'm quite certain. Yes, I'm certain it was Deborah Chow. Deborah Chow. Okay, Well, this is the first time a lesbian woman has become a showrunner. A lesbian. Lesbian. It's very important. Lesbians are very important. It's important because, well, now all the young lesbians across Earth can look at the Acolyte and say, yes, I can also do this. She's a role model. She set the bar high. A very high bar set, yes. A high bar set for lesbians everywhere. This is the gold standard of lesbians now. The Acolyte. Whenever I think of a lesbian, I'm going to think of Star Wars. Two of my favorite things to watch. Oh, I love watching lesbians too, but we're not here for that, Susan. Tell me about Leslie Hedland. Tell me all about this brave lesbian showrunner. Well, I can tell you a little bit about Leslie Hedland. She has a very bad haircut. Very interesting tattoos, yes. She was involved in some show called Russian Doll that approximately nobody watched, so she was given $180 million to do whatever she wanted with a Star Wars project. Kathleen Kennedy's a genius. It's really good business and very smart on Kathleen Kennedy's brain, you know, very smart of her to be like, this woman, this lesbian woman, I might add, she's never proven herself, but she will now. I'm going to give her more money than the Congo's GDP. That was her plan, and might I say, it paid off. And what better way to learn than blowing $180 million on a failure? I mean, well, we don't know if it's a failure. I think it's a success. This show is a success. It's great. It's phenomenal. But what better way to learn? Susan, who else was involved in the making of this show? Who else was involved in the show? I'm not really sure. I know Wikipedia had a little bit to do with things. You know, they changed the birth date of Ki-Adi-Mundi when they put him in the show unnecessarily. He didn't even have a character arc. I don't know why they put him in the show. That might sound like a criticism. I'm sorry. We don't want to criticize art. But they wanted to put a familiar face in there. So why not put the longest face of all time? Ki-Adi-Mundi. And then Wikipedia... You know, they did what they do best. What do they do best? Bow down to the whims of Disney. And boy, they made everybody happy with playing with the Canon like that. Canon should be flexible, because artists like Leslie Hedland should be allowed to do whatever they want. Oh, including putting Darth... I don't want to spoil things. Darth Plagueis in the final episode for a split second. We see Darth Plagueis. Darth Plagueis, the same one that Sheev Palpatine told Anakin about in Revenge of the Sith. Is that true? Is that who you're talking about? Yes, the very same. Darth Plagueis the Wise, the one Palpatine talks about in Revenge of the Sith. He makes an appearance. He's creeping in a cave. You know, like a pervert on a school fence. He's just watching. And I think he moaned a little bit. I do think he moaned. I heard moaning. So it is quite possible he was coming. Coming? Yes, coming. What was he coming over? Well, he's coming over the site of the Virgins, the daughter, May, Osha, born out of the Force. It's going to give him the idea to do the same with Anakin in 100 years' time. You got to remember, this is set quite a long time before the Phantom Menace. So Plagueis should only be a teenager here, but he does look quite old, and he had this really raspy breathing, like he's wearing his apparatus already. I'm not sure if Leslie Hedland did all her research, but the foresight to put Darth Plagueis in this show, it's commendable. It's brave. She's the first lesbian to do it. Well, as you said, Susan, canon is flexible. Why not throw Plagueis in? It adds to the mystery, right? Oh, and speaking of mystery, this show was sold as a murder mystery. Yes. Tell us more about the murder mystery, Susan. Yes, that's correct. The show is a murder mystery, and it subverts your expectations, because going into a murder mystery, there's one thing that should be clear. There is a mystery, but this show says, to hell with mystery, and we see the killer murder her victim in the first 10 minutes. No more mystery. Wouldn't it be more interesting if we didn't know who was committing these murders? Well, you're right. It could have been more interesting if we didn't know who was committing the murders, and if we didn't reveal the twin reveal so early, but... You know, a lot of our Disney Plus viewers are very young, very dumb. Lower IQ, I should say. Yes, lower IQ is PC. They might not be able to piece together all the plot points if we don't just reveal it and spell it out to them. So I think Leslie Hedland was very smart to look down on her audience like that, yes. Yeah, looking down on your audience is always the best way to engage them. I 100% agree. Now, I have notes here, Susan, that the show also dabbles in Jedi corruption. Tell me more about that. Oh yes, Jedi corruption is a massive theme in this series. There are 2 flashback episodes, 1 hour altogether. And we really don't learn much, but what we do learn is that the Jedi stopped an evil coven of witches, and then, for some reason, they didn't tell the Jedi Council and covered it up. Why did they do that? Are they retarded? Well, they did that so the show could exist, you see? If they did what Jedi would do and tell the Council, well, we wouldn't have a show. Well, maybe the show should never have been made or rewritten. I mean, you might be right. Maybe the show should not have been made, or maybe thought out a bit longer. You know, maybe do a second draft, but this is what we've got, and we have to love and appreciate what we got, because I prefer to live in a world with any Star Wars than just no Star Wars. You know what I mean? Quantity over quality. It's like a Star Wars bukkake. You're right. I'll take anything, but Susan, you didn't really touch on the corruption theme. Tell me more. Well, we don't explore too deeply into Jedi corruption. We sort of just say Saul killed a witch and he shouldn't have done that. Wasn't that witch attacking him? Yes, she was attacking him at the time, but I mean, he's a man. So bad. Very bad. Corrupt. Yes, I can confirm as a man, we are bad. If you knew at home just how many sexual assault allegations I had, you would spin, people. Ha ha ha. Now, Susan, you mentioned witches. Tell me more about the witches. Oh, I wish I could tell you more about these witches, but Leslie Hedland didn't want to tell us too much, so I guess they just exist. They have no currency, no means to feed themselves. They're just surviving. I don't know what they do day to day. They're evil witches. That's all I can say. Okay, so not many details, but the details we do know are that these witches created the twins out of the Force. Yes, so the witches somehow created the twins. And the horny, I shouldn't say horny. It might give our viewers the wrong idea. She has horns. I'd say horny. She carried the twins, birthed them. But for some reason, the girls come out black and don't have horns and don't look anything like their biological mother. It's very weird. I will admit that. But hey, anything for diversity. I would prefer to have diversity than logic. Fuck logic, embrace diversity. I agree 100%, Susan. It's such a sad time we live in where people just don't embrace people of different walks of life. Like, what's with that? Yes, it's very sad, all this discourse online. It's tragic. You know, you've just got to expect it now with Star Wars. Release it, female lead, they're going to get attacked by all the bigots and homophobes and disgusting people online. They're so disgusting, those people. Even though a lot of them aren't saying that, they're just criticizing the show, we have to support Disney because they preemptively, is that the word? Preemptive? They get on the attack before it's due. You know, they attack the fans before the show's even released. And I support that because attacking your fans is the best way to secure your fans. Attack the fans, grow your fan base. It makes sense. Susan, tell me, did you see Amandla Stenberg's music video, Discourse? Oh, yes, I did see that music video, and she was so brave. Her singing was so... I had the subtitles on, and the message was just so brave. So brave. This poor girl, I can only imagine the torment she's gone through. Living in California with rich parents, acting since she was very young, not even having to audition for this show. I mean, the poor girl. I really feel sorry for her. And this music video, it did two things. Number one, it united the Star Wars fan base, and I commend her for that. And number two, it showed her for the true talent she is, and really put on perspective her range. Did you see her face in that music video? It moved just as much as it did in the series. She really is a star of tomorrow. And to say she's a star of the future is an understatement. Now, Susan, let's wrap it up. How does the show end? Are we going to get a season 2? Well, the series ends with Osha becoming a dark side user and May in the hands of the Jedi. There are many subplots still open, so it is very possible we'll get a season 2. I truly hope we do. If this is the level of storytelling we're going to get in a second season, bring it on. I am here for it all day. Absolutely, I say bring me more and more and more, especially with the level of cameos we got. Susan, tell me about the cameos. Oh, I love cameos. I love seeing things I've seen before. And yes, we had Plagueis. What a cameo. But we also had Master Yoda. He turned up in the very last shot of the series. How exciting season 2 is going to be, so amazing. Never mind that Yoda would have sensed all these Jedi dying. Never mind that he would have sensed all this dark Sith power growing. Never mind all that. Yoda, he's back, baby. Speaking of Yoda, it looks like you have a visitor behind you, Susan. Who's that? Sorry, what? He what? Oh! Hello there. How did he get there? This is my pet Yoda. He's my pet Yoda. I call him my pet. He's just a little statue, but I keep him by my bed. I didn't put him there. How have you? I don't know. He's just been kind of slowly approaching you. I thought it was a dog. That's very interesting. Yeah, as I said, I thought it was a dog, but it was Yoda. I have a very cute ending for the kids that watch our program. Are you ready, kids? I'm going to ask Master Yoda if he liked the Acolyte. Are you ready, kids? Master Yoda, did you like the Acolyte? You might have to ask him again, Susan. I don't think he heard you. Sorry, I couldn't hear that. Can you say it louder for our audience? Don't be shy, Yoda. What did you think of the Acolyte? He's attacking me! He's biting me! Susan, are you okay? Susan, are you okay? Susan, are you okay? Susan, what's going on? Susan, quick, cut the show, cut the fucking show.